guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome to Modi Speaks. So what we're going to be looking at today is the dumbing down of Black America. How Black Americans have single-handedly destroyed their brain cells by constantly fabricating fake histories about themselves and legitimately believing in these fake and dishonest informations about themselves. For instance, the belief that Black people built the world. The belief that every notable genius in history was Black. This is an example, okay? This guy claims that Napoleon Bonaparte was actually a Black man. Some have claimed that Abraham Lincoln was Black, Beethoven was Black, Mozart, Shakespeare, all these people were Black, and that white people just whitewashed these individuals and portrayed them as white in order to take all the credit for themselves. I'm sorry guys. Now, I love my people, okay? I love Black people and I want us to be deeply valued, okay? But in as much as I want all these ridiculous claims to be true, I know that they are not, okay? And I've made peace with reality, with that reality. I mean, it is what it is. But some amongst our community are so vested in this lie, so vested in these delusional beliefs, that it is almost as if their brain, they are replaced with sawdust. Now, a good example of this is the woman we're going to be looking at today. She has single-handedly made the intelligence of Black people a laughingstock with her wild claim. The world is laughing at us. But before we dive into the video though, please do well to subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or support the channel in any way that you can. Alright.
So this is how you know slavery ain't really happened. Tell me why modern day 2025, we don't have any boats coming directly from Africa to America. There's no way to get to Africa on a boat. There's no way. I've been to Africa. I know. There's no way to get to Africa on the boat today. And we supposedly have better technology today, right?
And please, okay? I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, she's a young person. She doesn't know better because she's too young. The question should be, did she ever attend school? Did she ever go to kindergarten, high school, college? Was she never taught anything there? Does she never read? Huh? Now, I'm going to tell you why she is doing all this mental gymnastics and why she have consequently made herself an illiterate, okay? She's trying to prove that Black people were indigenous to America. They weren't brought to America on slave ships, okay? They've always lived in America alongside the Native Americans, or even before the arrival of the Native Americans, long before the arrival of Ponce de Leon, Leif Erikson, or even Christopher Columbus. Yeah, we were kings and queens before the Europeans came to our beautiful motherland, our motherland, America. This is hilarious.
To Africa on the boat today, and we supposedly have better technology today, right? But yet in 2020, and I asked myself this as a kid, I'm like, so we got here, because you know, everything we got, I know it's hard for y'all to believe that everything you learned in school was a lie.
And it angers me to hear her say that she pondered on this issue as a kid. Yet, she never, ever, not even for 1 second, or even for 1 day, researched this issue throughout her childhood ponderings, okay? She asked herself this question as a kid, but instead of looking into it like any reasonable individual would do, she decided to bask in her ignorance and instead fabricate a narrative that would suit her feverish dreams. This reminds me of what Malcolm X said. He said, the best way to hide something from Black people is to put it in a book. And also, that is why you never see those bad apples amongst us robbing bookstores. Anyway, let's hear more.
Because you know, everything we got, I know it's hard for y'all to believe that everything you learned in school was a lie. Everything they taught you in school was a lie. So if they taught you got over here on boats, baby, you been here. If they taught you that it's red, baby, it's blue. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all know these are programming centers, right? They're not schools to teach us and help us evolve and become our best versions, right? No. They're programming centers, right? So if anybody came over here on boats, we know it was the West Indians, the Caribbeans, the South Americans, you know, somebody close. Nobody came from Africa on no boats. And we know that Caribbeans is us. They're the chosen ones as well. We know that. So let's stop with the lies. Let's stop miseducating our people. Let's quit telling our kids lies that we learned in school when we all know the school system is here to fail us. Y'all know in America we have like the worst school system. Like we're rated like last. Like, can we please quit teaching our kids what we learned in school? Like, self-love is the best love. When you start to love yourself, go within, focus on evolving, focus on becoming your best version, to become your highest self. Because as you raise your frequency, the planet of the earth rises, right? So that means you're doing your part. Just focus on self-love and evolution, and the truth will come to you. The truth is all from within. It's a collective consciousness. We all one, baby. It's all love.
My deepest condolences goes to this woman's brain, okay? She is a huge ignoramus, okay? She's deeply illiterate, and I wish someone shoved a history book in her face. Anyway, now, there were never sub-Saharan Africans in America before the advent of the white man, okay? There were Native Americans, but never sub-Saharan Africans, okay? The sub-Saharan Africans that later populated America were slaves or descendants of slaves. A little Google search or a trip down public library would have cleared her doubts. Oh, I forgot. She doesn't read and she doesn't believe in the white man's teachings. Because everything we've learned in school are all lies. It's all a scam. There is no quantum physics, okay? There is no organic chemistry, no thermodynamics, nothing like periodic table, no Archimedes principles, no laws of equilibrium, okay? All of it is fake, but she's enjoying looking at herself through her cell phone camera while she rambles on and on about how clueless she is. A cell phone that wouldn't be in existence if everything we were taught are all lies. Making use of an internet and a social media platform that didn't just materialize out of thin air for us kings and queens just to use every day. Yeah, all of it is a lie, okay? All of it is a lie, even though she's obviously enjoying the benefits of that information taught in schools. She says no ship travels from America to Africa or from Africa to America, whereas every day, large ships travel to and fro from many parts of Africa to many parts of the world, America included. How does she think the big trucks, the big trailers, the cars, and very bulky products get to Africa from Europe? Does she think these products just magically find their way in the doorsteps of people living in Africa? Haven't she heard of shipping? Woman, haven't you heard of shipping? How ridiculous can you guys get? These people are now beginning to distort reality just to fit their own narrative. There are literally places in Africa that have now become tourist sites because they were places built for the selling of other Africans as slaves during the slave trade era. Okay, there are places in my country, Nigeria, in Lagos, where enslaved Africans were kept after being kidnapped by the ruling kings to be transported to the West. You have places like Badagry, that is in Nigeria, my country. You have Kida, you have Grand Polo, Porto Novo, Jerkin, just to mention a few, okay? These places literally exist today. I have visited one of them, particularly the slave encampment in Badagry. You will see the old historical buildings where the kidnapped slaves were kept, the chains that they were restrained with, the containers that was used to feed them and supply them with water, okay? The inhuman conditions they were subjected to right in their own motherland by their own people. You will see the point of no return. There's a place called the point of no return, okay? This is a sort of bridge whereby if a slave is taken across this bridge, you are never coming back to Nigeria or, to your place in Africa again. This point of no return, when you cross it, you are automatically a slave because nothing can ever stop you from being sold at this point.
The compound that we are is known as Brazilian barracoon. And barracoon is a Portuguese word meaning slave cell or storehouse where the slave were being stored. And the compound right now, we have total about 40 rooms in this compound.
Okay, so this is where they kept slaves?
Yes, in the olden days. And that is say each room contains 40 slaves. So this is called cowrie shell, as you see.
Okay.
So those are the kind of currency our forefathers used then.
This is what they used to use as means of exchange.
Yes, but when they came, them say they can do business with our forefathers with this kind of money. Right on the wall, these were some of the European products that were used in exchange for the slave when they arrived. Like if the European give you one umbrella, you give them 40 human beings as a slave.
Okay. Is this one of the rooms that
this is
40 people?
Yes,
40 people?
40, yeah,
inside here?
Yeah, and we have 40 rooms in the compound.
Wow.
This one is called covering yoke. They use it to join two slaves together. They put this at the ankle or the
Okay, to join two slaves together by the leg.
Now look at that small window tile. Can you see that small window there?
Yeah.
And that's what we provided the ventilation. Imagine 40 able human beings in there for 3 to 4 months. This
40 human beings inside here.
Imagine the odor, the heat. Imagine how many human beings they will have died here. That's the reason when people come, they are telling you are not here to cash fund, but just to feel the pain the people the past have felt. And those are the items that are showing on the wall. Each go for 10 cents. These are 50 human beings. Look at your back there. This bottle, if you look closely at the body, you see 1873. Be customized on the body.
Yeah,
that's 10 human beings standing. So,
guys, can you imagine the conditions that the slaves had to live in? 40 people in a room that is not even enough for one person. 40 people had to stay inside that room. I can't even begin to imagine how most of them would have felt.
so these are the canon.
Okay.
100, that's 200 slaves.
For this cannons,
If you give you the long one, you give them 100 human beings, another 100. That's
wow. This is the chains they use for the
You
slaves.
can see, that's why I say you can see how
Wow.
wish. How do you want to
So they
try
put it, yeah, let me try it.
Okay, so just tell the people how you feel.
Wow, this is heavy, man. This is heavy. Ouch. It's even drawing my
Should I
neck.
help you?
Guys, this is heavy, man. And this is what they wear on their neck, all true.
Yes, there will be, it should be in a single
Yeah.
file, you know, in a straight row. This is another neck, another neck. It could have been like 100 of them.
Wow, man, guys, this is very heavy. Yes. So now we're going to the point of no return. And for us to do that, we have to cross over this lagoon here and get to the other side. That's where we see the point of no return. Point of no return is a point where once slaves get to, they can't come back anymore.
The slave ship, which is called cargo ship,
Okay.
will be awaiting the slave
On the other side.
at the other side of the
That's
beach.
at the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. They will come in, get to the town, get the number of slaves that they want.
Okay.
After getting the slaves, they will now walk there in a single file.
Down to the beach.
They'll be in a straight roll,
Wow.
and that heavy chain will be on their necks.
You know, most times when they talk about the slave trade,
Okay.
it's always looking like, okay, it's just only the Europeans that were selling slaves. But it kind of seems like we Nigerians were also selling ourselves as slaves.
Yes, these sub-Saharan Africans came into the US through slave trade, okay? These are empirical facts. They were not produced out of the white man's behind. They have tangible roots, okay? They can be traced. I have shown you these buildings that were built for the slave trading business by Africans. I know the information that you were sold off by your own people to some foreign individuals can be very, very unpleasant, okay? But that should not warrant us to distort history, discrediting academic teachings and fabricating lies from the pit of hell, okay? We have to realize that the internet is one big place, okay? People from all over the world can easily come in contact with our videos. Now, what are people gonna say when they come across this nonsense? That all black people are morons and they don't even know their own history? Or that we are all so narcissistic and so self-absorbed that we want to be the founders of every place on earth and everything on earth, okay? People are laughing at us for this sort of ignorant statements, okay? But on a serious note, what is the aim of making this kind of videos? What is the aim of this kind of claims? Does this mean that these guys are ashamed of descending from Africa? Do they hate their Africanness? Are they trying to claim that they are related to Native Americans? What exactly is the purpose of this version of history? People like this woman are allowed to vote and raise kids. Imagine that, okay? And the funniest thing is that these people claiming that they are natives of America, thereby insinuating that slavery never happened, they would also be the same people to complain of generational trauma which they inherited from their great-grandparents who were slaves, and then they demand for reparations for stealing them from Africa. Confusion and ignorance on steroids, guys. The world is totally laughing at us black people, and I'm extremely disappointed in all this. Please, guys, help me send people like this woman to elementary schools, please. It will do them a world of good and save people like me the embarrassment of having to deal with this sort of rubbish. People are going to start thinking that my ancestors sold out the stupid and moronic ones amongst us as slaves. And truth be told, people might just be right. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, but feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.